In this video, we have crashes in Daily Race A. Daily Race B sees some very odd blocking behavior. And Daily Race C, well, we have lots of victims as we race at the mountain. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2024 week 9. And this week, well, it's an interesting week if I do say so myself. First up, Top Gear nostalgia. We're in the Maserati Marak SS at Watkins Glen short circuit. What exactly are we doing in terms of the details of the race? Well, it's 5 laps. It's a grid start with a false start check, sports hard tyres, times 1 fuel and tyre wear, and BOP is on. But of course, you can add a livery as you've seen in the background. DR updates are off, however SR updates are on, so do behave yourselves in the race if you're known to be a bit more pushy than normal. If you're not into this race though, there are some timestamps there for you to jump to race B or race C, which are both very interesting in their own right. First of all then, let's jump into the Maserati Marak then. Let's have a look exactly what happens and let me tell you how to do a lap here at Watkins Glen short circuit. Right then, here we go. Who's got a livery on? Chicken Angel's got a livery on. Handsome Frank's got a livery on. Somebody else, I think that's Marak with a livery on as well. Pop-up headlights. Yes, hold that headlight up. Let's pop them up as we get ready for the start. I do put traction control on one here, but I'm not sure if it's needed as we set off. Maybe a tiny bit. Nothing major, to be honest with you. Let's turn it off and let's get racing then as we head towards turn 1. Watkins Glen short circuit does have a sharp turn 1, and it can get very low very quickly, so I back out of this to basically try and go on the inside here and gain some positions if I can. Up ahead, there's bits of contact here, there, and everywhere. But overall, pretty good turn 1 by everybody there. Well played to all. We did get a position off Marak there as we go through here. And look at this. Very close racing action then in this Maserati. And this is the actual SS, not like in Top Gear where Jeremy Clarkson had one that had the badge bought for it. Right, we get a bit of a bum draft there from Marak. Thank you for that as we head towards the chicane for the first time here of 5, and we're actually going to back out of this very quickly because when there's lots of cars side by side going into here, it normally ends in disaster. Does it end in disaster for anyone? Oh, hello, Stig on Speed has gone off the circuit. We got down the inside. Tight, very tight move there, but we do get the job done down the inside of Mo's Master as we continue on through then into P7. Now, one thing you do have to be careful of on this circuit is track limits as you go through here. So staying on the curbs is vital. Unfortunately, we're going to head off there, and that is going to give us a penalty. But how much is it? I can't remember myself as I did the race. It's 0.5 second penalty there. So, you know, you got to be careful on parts of this. Some parts are 1 second, some are even 1.5 seconds if you really do get it wrong. Right, we're heading towards the chicane again, up very close to the back of this pack here. Again, backing out of it, letting them go into here as we go into the right hand. Oh, it's 4 cars into here. Oh, there's a crash. Hodgson's off. There's a crash as well. That's Dav gone. Blue Race has got a 1 second penalty for track limits. We're going to gain 3 positions in 1 corner. However, we are going to have to take this penalty as well as we continue on through here. Handsome Frank, you're safe for now, but I'm going to come for you, and we're going to get on that podium, that is for sure. The penalty, not that impactful in this car. As you can see, we do lose a place, but it's not massive amounts here as we head into the left hand. And now up ahead, we're going to see Blue Racer just go into the back of Handsome Frank there. I've no idea what's going on. It did look purposeful there as we continue on through into this right hander. Remember, please don't do purposeful punts if I'm around because I will call it out. There's no need for it at all as we continue on then. So Handsome Frank here side by side with Blue Racer as we head towards turn number 1. Side by side, never good into turn 1 of this, so I'm backing out of it early once again. Let's see what happens as we go into here. Handsome Frank sent it a little bit there down the inside. We're going to try and get both positions here. We do just slight bit of contact on exit. We'll have a look at that in the bloopers to make sure my move was okay, but we're up into P3. In fact, we're in the fight for P1 as we advance further on in lap number 4 then. As you can see, I've got the fastest lap, and we're second up here basically as we go into the final 2 corners. Sonic's gone out wide here. Unfortunate for Sonic, and off the circuit as well. So potentially going to have a penalty there as we go into this right-hander. Chicken Angel having to give a bit of space there. Sonic's gone a bit deep with those dirty tyres. Through we go, up into P2. Too shabby of a start here as we go hard on the brakes. We still got a fastest lap, even though we cost a lot of time there. Through turn when we go. Chicken Angel all sorts of sideways. We're not sideways. We have the momentum. We go down the inside, and it looks like this is P1. Happy days indeed. P1 in a daily race. We don't do it too often, but can we do it here? That is the question. We've advanced to the penultimate corner then here on the final lap. Through we go as we... Oh, hello. That's just on surely here as we go into the final corner. No, it's a 0.5 second penalty. We have to be a second ahead of Chicken Angel as we go through this corner. We're a second over. Now we're under a second. Oh, no, it's not good. Now we're above a second again. Now we're below. What's going to happen here then as we get towards the line? Oh, I've missed out by 31 thousandths of a second there. That rounding up, that got me. We're going to have a look if that should have been a penalty a bit later on because I thought I was on there, to be honest with you. I really did. Let me tell you how to do Watkins Glen, though. As we head towards turn number 1, between the 300 and the 200, you have the Armco here where it just lowers the section down there. The top section descends. That's your brake marker for turn 1. Now, for turn 1, it's the only corner you change down a gear. For the rest of this circuit, you're going to stay in 4th gear. You can see where this is in chase cam, but we only drop to 3rd gear at the very end of the braking there to make sure the car stays stable. And that's the critical thing here. You have to remain stable. On exit, just to reiterate track limits, the orange or yellow and red curbing. Is it orange or yellow? I'm not too sure. That curbing is track limits. Anything over that is not track limits. You can have 2 wheels on that, 2 wheels off it, and you're fine. But if all 4 wheels go off the curb, you're going to get a penalty. So stay in 4th gear as you head towards the chicane. Don't go to 5th. It's slower. And as we go into here, we're looking for that 300 board. This is where the car can get a little bit iffy in terms of the weight transfer, especially as you jump over some of these curbs. So you can cut a lot of the first right-hander. Don't cut a lot of the left-hander. You're just seeing chase cam here in terms of the braking marker. You're just going to have to be careful. So balance the car as best as you can as you go through here. Straighten up where you can. Make sure you don't cut too much of these left-hand curbs because they will give you track limits, all 4 wheels over them, annoyingly. But the right ones are absolutely fine. Going through here, I'm just bouncing the car, letting the car roll a little bit. And what I'm looking for is that Marshall box there. The I Love NY Marshall box. Really easy mark this. I want to start accelerating flat out before I get to that. So you can see I've got 100% here. See whereabouts it is on chase cam there for you. Essentially, the car will not understeer off, or shouldn't understeer off, so you should be able to make it round if you keep turning there, and just make sure you stay on the curbing on exit. Happy days indeed. Let's head towards the penultimate corner where I got track limits last time. We don't on this lap, of course. On the left-hand side, we have a 200 board. That's the one I'm using. You have the one on the right as well that I've marked up for you, but the one on the left, as it hits the edge of your screen, that's when I hit the brakes in this car. Staying in 4th gear. I will reiterate that, stay in 4th gear. See where this is on chase cam then as we go into here. So we're going to accelerate through here then and making sure we stay on the curb as we do there. Very close to where I was in the race, but you know, it is what it is. The final corner then on the left-hand side, it's the tyre wall that ends and starts with the Armco there. That is your brake marker for this final corner. Once again, stay in 4th gear for this one, okay? The only time you change down a gear is for turn 1. Otherwise, you stay in 4th gear. As we go through here, it bounces the car very nicely, starts accelerating, it won't understeer. You don't have the gear change delay either, and you can head towards that line where we get a 125.3. 124 is definitely possible here. I definitely saw them, that's for sure, but I jumped to race B now where we're in Group 4 machinery at the time trial track that we're doing this week as well. It's Grand Valley South Reverse, and we are in that McLaren 650S. What exactly are we doing? We're doing 6 laps here. It's a rolling start on racing hard tyres. Now, this is only brake balance only. It's not suspension. And we're not seeing the Master 3. Yippee! I finally know Master 3. I chose the McLaren 650S. I was top of the leaderboards actually before filming this, so we'll see what happens during the day. Let's jump into the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens because this one gets a little bit tight. Right then, here we go. What have people picked? Sonics in the 650S. GTRs, they were very well up there on the leaderboard this morning. 458s in this race as well. But we jump on board the 650S here. Now, if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. We are on our journey to 50k. We're getting there very quickly at the moment, and I appreciate all that support as we head into the tunnel then. Already catching up to that GTR. Down the inside we go. We have to be very careful on lap 1 here as we go into this corner. It's a very tight corner. It's very easy to get wrong, and it's very easy to have lots of crashes. Speaking of which, up ahead we see some smoke. We see somebody off there, and we see somebody waiting up there. Good sportsman-like stuff as we continue on through here. Up into P9 we go then early with the action, and we will have a look at them in the bloopers, of course, as we go into this braking zone, then slowing the car down nicely. We want to keep as far right as possible here. I'll explain that more in the lap guide to make sure you have a good run for this lap. Look how much speed we catch up to Blue Racer there as we continue on through here. Just have to lift a little bit there due to a little bit of understeer and make sure we don't hit the car in front. Through we go then. Blue Racer's had to brake there with that understeer. Oh, does survive though. Doesn't hit the cliff then as we head towards the final corner. Very short lap, but very fun lap, I would say, here at Grand Valley South Reverse as we go hard on the brakes. And through we go on the inside. Are we going to get this done? They're still there, though. Blue Racer is still there. Oh, clip the barrier a little bit. There we go. Job done. And we are going to give Mario Sonic the slipstream. Mario Sonic does this to me as well. So there you go. Have the slipstream. We advance to a lap later then, where we catch up to the French driver, Nipro, as we head into the tunnel. Now, I didn't want to go for that. It was more just to scare them, to be honest with you. Just because going on the inside into here, you're more than likely going to understeer into the car on the outside. However, we're trying around the outside here, and you can see how easy it is to get it wrong. We nearly head off the circuit. The French driver keeps that position in as we go into the right-hander. We've got a battle on our hands here as we're going to chuck it left and continue on through here. And they get it a bit wrong there, a little bit wiggly in that GTR. We're going to go down the inside then. They just turn at the very last second in the braking zone. That was very, very, very just bizarre and bad driving there by the French driver. You can't block there where you're right on the braking zone. You want to block, essentially, as I said before. You can't do that. You can't do that in racing. I've made my intention very clear. I was alongside that point. That's why we had a clip of a contact as we continue on through here. Then just understeers off a little bit there, the French driver. We're going to continue on up here. Just running off the road there. Slight bit of contact again. So getting a bit frustrated at this moment in time. So we're going to look down the inside then. And we do get something. There was a crash there in my ears. I did not notice that in the race. I think Mario Sonic hit the barrier. But we're going to continue on through then up into P7. And we're going to do the same trick we did earlier. We'll give Mario Sonic that slipstream. Make sure Mario Sonic gets past that GTR driver as well. So lap number 4 then, we're looking to catch up to the next battle here, which is M-Boss and a Ferrari, a very green Ferrari up ahead as well. This Alfa Romeo up ahead, when I saw the choice actually, I thought actually that's quite a good idea. It's very good in terms of handling that car, and it could do very well here. We'll have to see how it goes as we go through the week, but quite an interesting choice as we continue on up the hill. It's going to struggle in the top end though. As we see here, we're going down the inside of that Alfa Romeo as we go onto the brakes. Down the inside we go. Very tight line here. That's the best way to do this. And we are now up into P6. All right, let's have a look at the Italian then. Nick up ahead. A very, very green Ferrari up ahead as well as we go into the tunnel. Left here. Oh, they've got it slightly wrong going into the tunnel. They bring it back very nicely, though, as we go on the brakes. They've got it wrong again here. We're looking down the inside. Can we get this done very quickly? There we go. We accelerate through the corner. In towards the right we go. They absolutely send it down the inside. Push us off wide here. Really off wide. We only just managed to stay on there through some adjustments. So I wasn't too happy with that one. You can see me shaking my head, just like, why? But even so, we've got a battle here to try and get past the Italian. So we slow it down very nicely here. And they've taken a very deep line there, which is never good for this corner here. But they've managed to make it work, to be fair to them. They really have made it work. Oh, hello. What are you doing? That's not the way to go there, mate. You got to go up here. So we have a McLaren who is off there. We'll look at that in the bloopers. The Ferrari gets it all sorts of wrong going up the hill. We get the run. We go down the inside, and we are already ahead by the last turn here. So we advance to the final lap then. We've got a yellow flag up ahead. Somebody's crashed. It looks like this could be another podium here as we go in. Hello, there they are. No, it's Sonic. Sonic with a 1.5 second penalty and off into the barrier. They may have damage as well. I'm not too sure here. I'll look at what happened to Sonic in the race as we go through the left-hander. They're going to have dirt on their tires as well. We get the run. Yeah, they definitely have damage. The fact that we catch up to them very, very quickly there. So we'll take that position up into P3. That's looking like a podium. Thumbs up there from me as well. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We've had towards the end then. P3 in the end. That's 2 podiums in a row. A victory. No, it's not a victory. It's a P2 and a P3. Sorry, I did cross the line in first on the previous race, but I didn't win it, did I? Because of the penalty. Completely forgot. But 2 podiums so far. Not too shabby at all. Right, let's jump to a track guide then. Let me explain how to do this. You can see that we are in the McLaren 650S as we go into here. First off, you're looking for that 100 board. Now, if you're struggling with this corner, when you get to that, just lift. Just lift and let the car roll through the corner. If you want to chance it, go on the throttle a little bit, but that is your marker. It's your turn-in marker. Don't brake at this point, okay? If you brake now, you're going to understeer off. As we turn in, the weights transition then, what we're looking for is that 100 board. As that starts to appear, this is a bit further on, but as it starts to appear, start to apply the brakes a little bit. Just slows the car down. What we're actually looking for is the exit of the tunnel because we want to aim over there a little bit to go 100% on the brakes. You're not 100% braking until you go in a straight line. Remember, a wheel can only do 100% of something. Straight line. We're going to start to lift now, and then we can start to turn in. Accelerate as early as you can. The point of this track is to be very aggressive on the throttle to get the lap time. You really do. That's why the GTI is actually quite a good car here. So up ahead, you see there, the wall just comes in the track a little bit. All the white line goes straight. It's just before that. You can see we started braking here. It's just before that we're going to go on the brakes. But we want to start turning in before we get to that marker as well. Really good marker to make sure you try and hit the apex. As you go through here, I short shift in a lot of cars there. And I really want to turn in early. Allow the camber of the corner to really shut you into that into that corner, gets you around it essentially as we get to this right-hander. The 200 board is a perfect brake marker for this corner, and that's what I would advise using in nearly all cars. I did try the GTR. GTR is the same place here as well, so just use that as your marker as you go into this right-hander. You see there, we're going on the brakes now. Now, you want to keep a very tight line for this. A tight line is a better line. Start accelerating early. Make sure you're on the right-hand side. Then you chuck it left. Now, you may want to short shift in a lot of cars to avoid the understeer as we go through here. And we're going to head up then. And as we get to this hill, you want to lift a little bit, start accelerating. And I try to maintain 100 miles an hour, or keep 100 miles an hour in terms of speed. It's very hard to do, but just have a bit of a practice with that as you go up there. Just be careful of the understeer. As we get to the final corner then, it's between the 200 and the 100 board. It will depend on the car you're using as well as to where you need to or want to brake here. Okay, so between the 200 and the 100 board is what I'm going to do. You can just see there, it's very easy to spot on chase cam as we go hard on the brakes. Now, I want you to keep a tight line here. And what you're looking for is where the sand or gravel starts on the left-hand side. That is your accelerating marker. You want to make sure you're on a tight line. Now, you may start accelerating and start understeering a bit early. You may find that depends how the weight's transition in the car. So if you do that, just lift slightly and then go on the throttle again. You will get used to it as we continue on through. You notice I just did that there. If you were keen-eyed, you will notice I did that as well. We're going to head towards the line and we get a 108.9, 108.7s and 6s definitely possible here. So do expect that later on in the week. We jump to race C then, where we're at Bathurst, and we are in Group 3 machinery. And you can see that I'm in the big Bentley. Yes, it's the Genesis. It's not quite the Bentley. It's the Genesis X Group 3 car. We're doing 10 laps here at Bathurst. It's a rolling start. Racing soft and medium tyres both are required. ×2 fuel, ×7 tyre wear, and only the brake balance is adjustable. Now, I chose the Genesis because, as you know, if you've been following the car profiles, this is the fastest car at Bathurst. So why not go in the fastest car? Let's jump to the race then and let's have a look exactly what happens. Right then, here we go with the final race. We've got a Genesis in pole. Bembo chose the 911. Interesting choice. Probably one of the better MR cars here. Do be careful if you are in an MR car. And do be careful if you've not subscribed, because you really do need to stay in touch with all the latest content. Do give it a thumbs up as well if you are enjoying this video, but we're going to get hard into the racing now, and let's see what we can do here at Bathurst. The mountain, very difficult track to overtake, as we know. It's single line all the way up the mountain, as we're going to head up there now then as we get towards this right-hander, and we're going to see how bad the traffic actually is. But it does mean there's some strategy in this race as well, which is what I really like in a daily race C. I want strategy. I want to be able to play. Oh, unfortunately there we've got Dark Avenger off into the barrier. I'll have a look at that one in the bloopers. But I want strategy. I want strategy to play a part in daily race C. You've got B and A for pure racing. I want C to have racing, strategy, and all the elements of a race that I really can then have a play in my mind. Obviously, if it's longer, it's better, like the Suzuka race. But even so, we'll see what we can do here with 10 laps at the mountain. Gonna head down here. You're already seeing us having to brake extremely early here. Same for the Supra behind. Appreciate that, mod cars, that you were very well aware. Honestly, I really appreciate good driving like that. You're very well aware what's happening ahead. I then didn't need to worry because you were being cautious. It's just good. It's good fun racing then. I can focus on ahead. I can focus then on potentially making a move. I can also focus on defending from you as well, if you get the run on me, of course, in that Toyota Supra. Right, let's fast forward a little bit down here because we know what happens on the straight. Mario Sonic's got the run on solid metal then in the AMG versus the Toyota Supra. Two cars we do need to retest in terms of the car profiles. Mario Sonic sent it down the inside in that AMG. Does he get it stopped? He doesn't get it stopped as well. Brilliant effort there. Slight tap from behind. Gives solid metal a bit of a bump there as well as we continue. Mario Sonic made it work there. We go into lap 2 then, and we're still in this train of cars as we go into this left-hander, but Solid Mel gets it all sorts of wrong on the outside. We're trying to get the run on the inside. They're very hard move to get done here. Are we ahead? I have to give it a little bit of room down the inside. I wasn't too sure. With ping as well. Remember, netcode ping. The car isn't quite where you think it is, but we do get past Solid Mel there. Brilliant driving from you as well in order to understand what I was doing there. I appreciate that. So, lap number 3 then, here we go. We're still behind Mario Sonic at this moment in time. We have lost a little bit of time to P1, Fatman 1. They potentially are on soft tyres. We're on the medium tyres. Lots to think about in this race on who's on what tyre. We've got a good run here on Mario Sonic in that AMG then down the inside. We're looking here. We look to stop the car here, and Mario Sonic just gets it round the outside there. It was very close indeed. I mean, if I'd have kept it there, potentially in contact, but he didn't. We carried on racing. All good here as we go through here then. Oh, very wide there by me. Oh, no. Someone's got a penalty. Oh, it's Hodgson. Oh, Hodgson in the McLaren 650S. Oh, dear me. Oh, we got yellow flag down here as well. What's happening on this lap? Oh, we got 2 cars off there. I think that was Chelsea as one of them because Chelsea was in the Viper. There we go. We just see that on the right-hand side. We We've gained lots of positions from lots of crashes here. Danny with a penalty as well. Up into P6 already on lap number 3. So that traffic is starting to dissipate for us then. So we need to think about strategy. But we do need to get past Mario Sonic first. And that's what was going through my head in this race. What do I do here to get by? Do I go for the undercut? I wasn't sure on tyres because they're quite worn, those medium tyres, and a long way to go in this race. But I go for it in the pits, and you know who turns the lights off in that camera. You can just see that right there. Now, you can cut a little bit of the curb there. The white line isn't necessarily strict there on that curb. You just saw that as we continue on out. And frustratingly for me, look up ahead. We've got traffic there. We've got 2 cars up ahead. We've got Solid Mel, and there's 2 TCR drivers up ahead, so that might be helpful. We'll see how it goes. We've got Solid Mel up ahead in that Supra. It's very frustrating. I don't know where they were going there. Maybe looking at another screen of their mobile phone. Who knows? But they bring it back on circuit here. But I need to get past very quickly. We're on fresh, soft tyres. This is the part of the race where I need the undercut to work. Can we get it done? Solid Mel defends that then as we head up the mountain. There's nowhere to go here. We are stuck. We are losing time. Hand over fist at the moment as we go into that left-hander. They just get it wrong on the exit, though. We're going to try and get on that inside. Going to be outside here. If this works, this is unbelievable here. Look at this. It does work indeed. We just get it done. My word. That was an effort and a half, but we needed to get it done. We need to get the undercut. Mario Sonic is in the pits right now. Are we going to jump Mario Sonic? They've come in at the end of lap 4. We did the end of lap 3. We leave turn 1, and there they are in the mirror. We've done it. The undercut works even with the traffic. Happy days indeed. And we have Shelty up ahead in the Viper then. I know Shelty crashed. I didn't know at the time where Shelty was in terms of the race, but Shelty just gets it wrong going through this right-hander. Going to go a bit slow here. Actually going to let me go as well. I appreciate that, Shelty. Thank you so much, mate. I need to get my thumbs up in shots going forward because all you see is my fist. As we continue on, we're seeing TCR Blindman GT up ahead then as we go into the right-hander. Lovely livery on that car. I need to get a livery on a Genesis actually on this account so I can show it off as we continue on up here then. So I wasn't sure on strategies, what people were doing here, there, and everywhere. I'm pretty sure everybody has pit now, maybe? I'm not sure about Blindman. Blindman gets it all wrong, though, into the left. Goes a bit too deep. We'll take that. We're up into P4. Hodgson is up ahead, so we know we're going to be at least on a podium at the moment. And Muscafy here is the next car that we're going to face then, because we know Hodgson did have the crash earlier on. So we've got the fastest lap as well here, 2:01.0. Definitely, I think a 1:59 in the race is definitely possible, folks. So do keep an eye out for that. It really, really will be. Right, we're going to continue on here. We're going to have a drag race now between a WRX and a Genesis. We don't know how fast that WRX actually is at the moment. We haven't done a car profile for it. You let me know if you want to see that by typing Subaru WRX in the comments, and we'll give that a vote, and the votes go up. It becomes the highest voted car. We'll do a car profile and beat the meta on it and see how it goes. Right, we're up ahead of Muscafy then as we go into the braking zone. And do we get it stopped? We do indeed. Up into net P2 as we continue on. So we go to the final lap then. We have been catching Fatback 1, but the tyres are coming into play now. You can see that down in the bottom left-hand side as we go into this left-hander. We're looking to now just bounce the car as nicely as we can. We head up here though, and Fatback 1 is going very slow up ahead. I did spot this and notice that time coming down very quickly indeed. Not sure what's happened there, just maybe a bit of an issue going through that left-hander as we continue on through the mountain then. Can we catch up? If we're getting that slipstream, there's a potential at the end of this lap to go for that victory. Oh, they're off as well, and I did notice that. You see my smile because I know there's a chance. And then I see they've got a 1.5 second penalty. 1.5 seconds. All we need to do is just keep it nice and steady, and the victory is ours. And indeed it was. Look at that, 2.5 seconds ahead due to that penalty. We're going to cross the line, fist up in the air. We've had a P2, a P3, and now finally a P1. It's a 3 out of 3 podium daily race, weekly race guide. There you go, folks. Happy days. But let me tell you how to do Bathurst. Now, in terms of this lap, okay, I'm just going to explain. This is the time trial lap from a while ago. It's the same brake markers, so I'm using this same lap. As you head towards turn 1, what you want to do on the left-hand side is look for the end of that building. That is your brake marker for turn 1. You will notice, as I say, different lighting settings. The car may go slightly quicker, different wind settings, but the brake markers are exactly the same. No matter the Group 3 car, they're always the same. It's how I do the car profiles. Into here you go. You've got to be careful of the bump on the mid-corner there in some cars. Do be careful of that. But as we leave that corner, it's just a nice time to breathe now and prepare for the mountain. The mountain can be deadly, so I will talk you through it as best as I can to really give you the best advantage you can in this race. Heading towards this right-hander then, what we're looking for on the left-hand side is either the end of the wall there or the end of the tarmac. Either of those are really good brake markers here, okay? And essentially what you want to do is you want to keep a tight line, but don't touch the curb. If you touch the curb, it will really unsettle the car. Here you can see on chase cam whereabouts that actually is as we go into this right-hander. Notice I keep it tight here. I start accelerating as early as I can. Be careful on exit. That curb can chuck you off as well. just be careful. We're going to go up here then. Some cars will need a lift here. And as you go onto the brakes, as that white line goes straight, I always use that brake marker. People are a bit unsure about it, but that's my marker. That's what I always use. It's a really good marker. The second I see that line go straight, I go hard on the brakes. Now, I don't want to go too far to the right-hand side because, as you saw in the race, you can understeer off very quickly. There's not a lot of grip there. About there was the limit. We keep it nice and tight and accelerate out as we straighten the wheel there. Be careful to change gear on top of the hill there. That can cause issues. And what we're looking for is either of these trees as turning markers. Some cars, you can do this flat. We saw that in the car profiles. In the Genesis, I believe it's a slight lift. I did a slight lift this morning when I just set a provisional time on the leaderboard. It's going to be a slight lift again, I'm sure, as I go into here. Yeah, there we go. Slight lift. We click the curb and continue on down here. Now, you are going to want to short shift to 5th gear here, and you are going to want a slight lift as you click the curb there. And the big marker here that you're looking for is that curb there. Because you're going uphill and you're about to hit a crest of a hill, the front will lift. So you need to make sure you're not 100% throttle. Lift off at this moment, okay, before the start of the curb, and let the car just turn in. That way the front will settle, the weight will settle all over the front, the car won't do a wheelie, and you can get around the corner that little bit better. Keep that in mind, okay? We're going to start heading down the mountain now. Now, you got several markers here. You got the Audi R8 sign. You can use that. You got the building on the right-hand side. And what you're aiming for is where that arrow is pointed, okay? That is your aim. Now, you always want to brake in a straight line going down the mountain. Never try and do 100% braking and turn. You'll spin and crash. We might see some of that later on. So as we go down here, 100% brake in straight line, 100% brake in a straight line. Notice I don't 100% brake as I'm turning at any point during that braking zone. Do be careful when you do that. MR cars are going to struggle in this section. Be warned, you may have to overlay. The curb there on the right side is your brake marker and turning marker for the dipper here, okay? Don't cut it too much. If you cut it too well and you absolutely nail it, you're going to get a track limit penalty. So don't do it. Just do about that and you should be fine. MR cars, once again, are going to be deadly there. You are going to have to bounce the throttle a lot as you go through there in order to survive. I highly recommend you don't use an MR car this week. That's just my personal tip. For this right-hander then, for his elbow, as the black barrier goes to the grey barrier there, you can just see that a bit more clearly on chase cam. That is when you're going to brake initially and drop a gear usually in most cars. We get over towards the right side as best as we can, and then this box represents your straight line braking. Remember what I said earlier, as we go down the mountain, you want to brake 100% in a straight line. Do not turn the wheel. 100% straight line, and we're heading towards the inside of the corner. Don't want to stay on the outside too much there. You will lose a lot of time, so we keep it towards the inside. We want to start accelerating quite early here. Be careful on exit of hitting that barrier, of course, and now we can breathe a little bit as we head towards the chase. Long straight here. You do want to shift in the Genesis before you get to the uphill section. It's a tiny bit quicker, nothing major though, as we head here now for our braking zones. The 150 board is a good marker, but if you've got a car with good brakes, using the V in sign event, or signivent, as I know a lot of people love for me to say now, using the V there is a good brake marker. You can see it quite clearly there on chase cam. That's what I use. I use the V. That's my first braking mark here as we go down. Don't cut the curb too much, but do clip it if you can. Be careful on exit of power oversteer. Lots of cars suffer with power oversteer on that corner. It's about where downforce comes into play, so sometimes you'll suffer it, sometimes you won't. Head towards final corner then. We're looking for the 100 board alternatively, and the marker I use on every single game, including Gran Turismo 7, it's the big tree on the right hand side. That is my brake marker for the final corner. There is a bump in the middle of this last corner. Do be careful because it can unsettle the car, okay? It really can unsettle the car. So just be careful on exit and then continue towards the line. And hopefully you're going to get a really good time. I think this is a 58 on this one. I do expect to see 58 again in terms of daily race C, but not quite as fast as we saw there. Right, bloopers time. Now, we did see Stig on speed. Unfortunately, they're in 5th gear and they lose control there. The weight transfer in the Marak can be deadly, and we've just seen that right there. Now, what happened in terms of this crash? It's a 4-car crash here. So, Phantom Hank looking down the inside there. Ooh, I think that was weight transfer first from Dav, to be honest. I don't think there was contact there from Phantom Hank. But then, obviously, the contact ensued because it was full-on oversteer at that moment in time. Could be netcode as well. Heading towards this right-hander there. Now, we're going to see if this move was clean by me. So, Phantom Hank goes a bit deep there. Blue Racer has contact. And, yeah, I gave room there. There was enough room there on that orange and red curbing. So, I'm happy with that. Let's have a look at whether this should have been a penalty or not, because I'm not so sure. So through the left we go. That's going to stop it here. I'm on it. Look, I'm on it. I can see my tyre. My tyre is definitely on it, both the front and rear wheel tyre. I don't think I should have been given a penalty there. No. I know I'm abusing track limits a lot there, but, you know, red and orange curbing is the limit, or red and yellow curbing. It is what it is. So we see here, Radion UK just hits the McLaren there. Going to wait up for them. They may have weird ghosting issues there, unfortunately, but they do wait up. So good sportsmanship there. Hodgson also in the Alfa Romeo here. Going to send down the inside of Shelty. Looking to wait up for Shelty, and unfortunately gets tagged by G White. However, G White does wait, so we really appreciate this sort of sportsmanship. It's always nice to see that kind of thing. Looks like the Alphas have very different lines. So, Monta there sent it down the inside. In real life, the GTR would open that up there because otherwise you're going to cause a crash. Not in this situation, but it was a lunge as well. It's all a bit iffy there. Unfortunately, Monta hits the barrier pretty hard. Pretty hard indeed. And is also going to get reset in a very odd place, but it is what it is. What happened to Sonic then going through this left-hander? So Sonic was in the lead by a mile and just gets it all wrong there. Daydreaming, as was said in Discord. And a 1.5 second penalty to boot, which is a bit annoying there as we go into this left-hander. So we're back aboard G White here as we go through this left-hander. Oh, the Constantina effect. Slight tap from behind. Just a bit of a racing incident there. Everyone closed up. A very common thing that will happen this week, so just keep that in mind. We go on board Hodgson then as we go into the list left-hander. Continue on through here then. And, oh, the rear end goes. It is one of the safer MR cars, but it's still not 100% safe. It should be safe uphill, though. I will be honest with that one. All right, Shelty. What happened to Shelty as we go down the mountain then? Hard on the brakes. And just carries a bit too much speed into the barrier. Gets clipped from behind by Danny. I assume Danny got a penalty for that one. It's not Danny's fault there. It's just Shelty hit the barrier. We've got Braits up ahead. What happened to Braits then in all of this as we go down the mountain and into here? Oh, the rear went on them. The rear went on them. Slid around. And unfortunately, they're on the racing line. Fortunately, ghosted though. But once again, good sportsmanship here. They're waiting for everybody to go by before going. Really good stuff. I love seeing this kind of thing. It's awesome to see. And it's nice to race with people like yourself who are thinking about other drivers as well. So coming out of here then. And, oh, Fat Band just got the rear end loose. Do be careful that. Changing gear on the crest of the hill in this car is deadly due to that turbo. Now, you did just see the subscribe button. So, well, the graphic. So you need to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Do give it a like on the way out if you have enjoyed this video as well. 2 videos there to check out, including car profiles. I've talked about them in this video. They're very well worth watching if you want the detail of Group 3 and Group 4 very soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.